Bon, bonsoir YouTube. On est parti pour Disco Elysium, la deuxième partie. Donc, ce qu'on a appris de la première partie, déjà, c'est que c'est un jeu qui est assez énervé. Et surtout, ne pas oublier de F5 à chaque fois qu'on fait des trucs. Je crois avoir rien oublié, il me semble. J'ai l'air d'avoir des nouvelles choses. C'est pas dans mes stuff. C'est quoi exactement? Pourquoi il y avait un point rouge? Il y a un truc que j'ai raté peut-être? Au niveau des quêtes, on était où? Question à la jardinière, oui, on s'en rappelle. Ça c'est sûr. Inspecter le corps de la victime. Donc là il faut de l'ammoniac. Soit à la jardinière ou à la boutique frites. Et ouvrir la benne à ordures et c'est les clés du patron. On va déjà aller voir le patron je pense. Ou la jardinière. C'est par là qu'on rentrait, non? Tu. Oh les gamins quoi. Oh, j'ai plus envie de les voir ces deux-là. C'est vrai qu'on peut dézoomer un peu. La zik.
Hello again, officer.
Attendez, F5.
Hello again, officer.
Ravi de vous revoir. Très bien. Vous avez toujours vos selles, je devrais en avoir besoin.
I'm done with them.
Nickel.
Go easy on that stuff.
Qu'est-ce que vous avez... dites-moi, que faisiez-vous exactement dans votre serre en mars?
Well, this might be the last snow we get. At least I hope so. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring. At least that's what my grandma always told me.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow.
Oh, projection analytique. Plissez les yeux et la fixer intensément. Let's go.
Stop looking at her.
Yes.
Look around. What do you see?
Embouteillage, la place, en accès à la cour.
That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbour gates. This is a great vantage point for keeping an eye on you.
Est-ce qu'on garde pour nous, ça? Et on va cochero! Incroyable! Je viens juste de recommencer. Incroyable! Ça a la forme? Je me demande si j'essaye de la mettre face à ça ou si je le garde pour plus tard. On pourrait s'en servir pour plus tard, genre feinter ou... Le gars est pour moi.
Now you know the locals are keeping tabs on you.
Objet. Ampoule d'ammoniac. Très bien. Ouais, donc ça c'est bon. On va aller prendre les clés du connard. En tout cas, tranquille, un week-end et tout, ça fait du bien. Plaisir. J'ai toujours pas son argent, by the way. Avec le pied de biche dans la main. Cette berne d'ordure derrière, c'est à vous?
Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling and Rag.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
Ah. Et rhétorique.
Prod at him and find out.
Vous Vous n'avez pas l'impression d'avoir un cœur de pierre, de pas daigner à donner vos restes aux pauvres? Nous avons besoin de ces clés.
Callous? What are you, Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The whirling in rags is not special.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism. He killed himself.
What are we talking about? Was this not about the trash container?
Non, attendez, chuchoter et désigner l'arrière de votre crâne. Si j'étais Krasmazov.
We should return to the case of your mistaken identity at a later time, officer. This was about the trash container.
Très bien, nous avons besoin des clés.
Are you planning to nationalize my trash container?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
Il y a quelque chose de Whirling Gate, une chose dont il faut que je vous parle.
What thing?
J'ai vu un panneau indiquant que le réfectoire était réservé au
not the
syndicat.
whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay.
We should find out who this
Ça va, ça va.
occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info.
Vous adresse un signe de tête éloquent. Comment on peut y
We
trouver?
don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
There are these things called days. You sleep between them. He's saying they'll come after you've slept. Just making clear you got that.
Ah,
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business.
très bien. Peut-être que je suis cuisinier, hein. J'ai un mandat de perquisition, c'est vrai que ça marche bien aussi.
No, you don't.
Croyez-moi sur parole, enfoiré. Comment
If
il
you
vous
had a
su?
warrant, you'd be shoving it in my face right now. Besides, the RCM doesn't do search warrants. I know the law. You'll just have to wait for the kitchen to open. If you have to get in there, which you don't.
You do realize you can just go into the kitchen at 1300 hours. No need for superstar charm or Sambo-style antics here.
Oh.
Sambo is an acronym for Samaran boxing. Graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. Just letting you know.
Tiens, tiens, tiens.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire
On va
if
venir
you
poser
see
des questions
anything
sur cette
interesting in the
chose.
whirling later.
Les cuisines... Oh, il y a de la pièce-aille. Je peux pas y aller. Je peux pas aller là. Une pièce là. Très bien. Donc demain, rechercher mon arme, on est toujours dans le délire. Il y a toujours mon manteau aussi que je n'arrive pas à aller prendre. Payer des dégâts bien entendu, ouvrir la benne à ordures. On a les clés maintenant. On a l'ammoniaque aussi.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says,
On voit le
"With a
cadenas avec la clé.
well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
Cours intérieur.
No, we need to investigate now.
Sur ces mots, il ouvre le
The
couvercle.
smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Bah,
You
regardez sur les
see
cartons.
milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The
Oh.
movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this.
L'habitude de quoi? Plonger les bennes à ordures. Plonger un peu
A
plus
box
profondément.
falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing among the
Quel rayon?
threadbare kitchen towels. Something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. As
Ouais, c'est
the
le
legs
jean.
of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay.
Putain,
Drop
lui il est
them
fort.
in
Hein.
here, officer.
Le lieutenant sort de sa poche un sac en plastique noir marqué sur le mot preuve. Très bien.
Guitar mark blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Un truc visqueux attire votre regard,
A
on va
drab,
regarder.
long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste.
Mettre la
This
chemise
is
dans
a
le sac.
military type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
Une armure légère lors d'intervention au milieu urbain.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that,
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Bah, en fait, les clés, il a dit qu'il y avait que lui et les mecs qui géraient les ordures. Ouais, moi je dirais ça.
Not
Hein.
really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loot.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
Oh non, mais
Si.
Kuno, quoi.
the lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. It's
dans les
just
déchets
organic
alimentaires.
waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But what's this?
Tiens.
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny.
Ah,
Looks like
c'est mon
something
insigne.
larger.
Ah non,
A
enregistre.
clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting. Not just any man's. This dense cursive, it's yours.
Oh.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
C'est la mienne.
There's a lot of it too. And you've got an autopsy form in there, in the back. That light pink copy paper. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
Alors, c'est une bonne question. Le grand bain de sang puisse commencer, mais what the fuck. Moi, on va garder
Understood.
ça pour nous. Il hoche la tête, détournant à nouveau son attention vers la benne et vers l'odeur nauséabonde qui continue dans les bannées. Le mec, je me le
You pick
garde
out
aussi.
a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron.
C'est vieux.
only in its social sensibility.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Oh.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all. You said you didn't want to talk about the ledger. However, now that you have it back, it would not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Officially.
Ah, attendez, j'ai plein de trucs. Interagir.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
Il y a pas mal de choses à lire dessus, tout parcourir.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
Votre stupide idéologie. Il n'a plus le droit de rire. C'est vraiment un truc qui va changer la facette du monde là. Ouais, je vais prendre le 2 là. Je vais le mettre sous votre nez de chaque vendeur que je croiserai en leur disant admirez votre
So
stupide
again,
idéologie.
you dug it out of the trash. Why? It wasn't going to offend anyone there. Why don't... It's just a racist mug. What's there to read? But it will not happen. The mug talk is exhausted.
Ah ouais d'accord, ok. Registre abîmé.
It's
Interagir.
the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Autre
There's
chose.
a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you.
Inspecter
It's
papier
just
toilette.
toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Ah, retirer.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Ok,
An
inspecteur pince.
aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has
Got-
been attached to the clip. The
Got
surface
it.
is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances.
Hey Kim, c'est quoi?
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property.
Ah. Intéressant, quel
It
genre
depends.
d'information?
Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
Comment je peux le lire?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Comme quoi par
All
exemple?
RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you
Lol.
can read the watermarks if you
Hey
just turn
Yunko!
the lights on.
Comment va gros? C'est
Okay.
tout.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, they're
Une
not
page
exactly
blanche.
white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils
Ça a la
across the
forme.
entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs.
Très bien.
Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden,
Ah oui, à ce
crumpled
point-là.
up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
Qu'y a-t-il dedans? De quoi est-il en
Work,
question?
strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51. this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20. It's the middle of
Putain.
March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Ouais, ça doit
What
être
do you
ça. Ouais.
mean? Is that all?
Hmm. 2 affaires par semaine, c'est bonne moyenne, Kim?
2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 enquêtes par semaine, c'était mon rythme apparemment, mais je ne suis pas certain d'y être arrivé.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
Il est marrant, Kim. Il est marrant, il est marrant. Bon, en tout cas, Nko, on est sur Disco Elysium. Je sais que c'est pas du tout son genre de jeu. Mais c'est un excellent jeu. Il a l'air, en tout cas. Très difficile, cependant. J'étais complètement
That's
au bout du
okay.
rouleau.
We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of girls, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
Examiner l'écriture
It's
manuscrite.
inornate, nearly illegible, yet marching in orderly lines. Pedagogical, somehow. Brash. It must be yours for you to be able to read it. These are the lines of someone who has written by hand a lot and has developed a style only they... Your hand cramps up merely looking at the scribbles drawn, as by some magnet, to the red checkered margins. Fast, but always straight.
Il était question
Yes,
d'une
it
nomenclature.
appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Bon sang, et en plus, c'est écrit en lettres
Yes,
capitales.
all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
Encore?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare Article 3 collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, j'utilisais pour mes affaires une drôle de
You mean
nomenclature.
the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
Celle-ci, oui. Non, je veux dire de manière non numérale avec des titres.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Pourquoi ça?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
Apparemment, j'enquêtais sur une affaire intitulée Les meurtres à balles carrées.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
On pages d'ouvrir une affaire officielle, il y a encore de la place.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Tiens,
Once
tiens,
all
tiens.
the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
À consigner.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But
Kim, vous avez un
the
stylo?
lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Ah, c'est bon, je vais utiliser mon crayon pourri.
Absolutely motionless at first, then animated slowly, imperceptibly even. Onto the paper with a brash free hand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body, interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Ouais, c'est que vous avez
A
déjà terminé.
satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Kimato, au hasard, vous avez trouvé un nom pour notre
No,
affaire?
actually. Any ideas?
Une sacrée paire. Le pendu. Je pense que le pendu, c'est clair et efficace.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
C'est
The
tout?
notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Est-ce que je peux enfin lire le dossier?
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
Et yo, Mehdi! Pas un enfant de 11 ans, non, on se prend plus de rousse là. C'est fini là, j'ai compris le jeu, il était énervé.
Bon, ben révolte!
Bon bah, révolte! Et yo, Dahu, comment va? Incroyable! Une seconde, HDB 41, mais ce serait pas un code pour agent et
Why,
poste?
yes, your precinct number is 41.
Et HDB... Ah,
Every
c'est mon
last
nom!
alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Oui, ça va tranquille. Le week-end là, ça y est, putain. C'est beau, Patoche. Le week-end et on joue un jeu fini à pisse et bois, c'est parfait. Vous sentez un truc là? Moi je sens pas les deux noms. Binzakin. Le premier peut-être. Le deuxième je le sens pas. Après peut-être c'est pas mes initiales en vrai. Je sais pas, normalement il devrait avoir un petit truc. On peut essayer de piffer ça je pense.
That is improbable.
Combien de temps faut-il pour lire une affaire?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
Non. Non. Je peux dire ça?
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, named a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. Cause of failure, rent too high.
Raison de l'échec, loyer trop élevé.
The mural is
Yo,
enormous.
Eddie.
Two silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class."
Oh.
People call it that thing.
Oh.
And that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. The graffito crew is easy to track down.
Oh non.
Only the bell lecturers have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown. The case files do not show you finding the crew agrees to clean up after themselves.
J'ai envie de crever là.
However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you. And the
Oui,
rest,
toujours
the
plus.
9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options. A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
C'est la nature humaine. Toujours le même problème. Envie de crever.
No
Ouais.
one cares what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger. What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
On se fait vraiment ça là? On se fait les 5 affaires. Est-ce qu'on les fait un peu rapidos parce que... Perdu l'habitude, tant de texte. Ligne de direct de Doom Eternal, ouais, c'est vrai. Non, on va
Not
peut-être
much
pas
has
tout lire.
changed
Attends
in the
maintenant.
meanwhile, a bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Feuilleter les
In the
pages
back,
jaunes.
you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
C'est vrai. Contravention
A
d'incivilité.
monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but they appear pleasantly vague.
Ah, mais attendez, là, le gamin, je vais pas lui mettre une contravention de merdier, là.
These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute.
N'importe quoi.
A
Autopsie
dozen
sur
pages
site.
of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased. Yes,
Oui, très bien,
all
très
that
bien.
remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and the rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Oh là 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 là.
It's
Examinez le
made of dark
porte-bloc.
blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are
Hein?
rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment?
Mais non.
And something small inside. Light, made of paper or cardboard. Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
Comment je pourrais l'ouvrir?
With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board.
Oh, j'ai de l'affinité mécanique de ouf. Let's go!
The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just,
Ouais, si.
without resistance or sound, the two panels move against it. Two
Tiens,
ticket
attends.
stubs and a handmade postcard.
2 talons de billets. Talons de billets, ça veut dire quoi? De la tunasse?
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The
Ah.
tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol
Oh
East.
putain, je vais les
The
vendre au
aquarium costs
marmot.
extra. These let you go there too.
Prends la
Thin
carte.
wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue. It smells of chewing gum. A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says
Petit
familiar
fruity, là.
handwriting lines the inside of the card.
Ah.
A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile. You think, Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Your hand shakes holding the card.
Oh putain.
Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it.
Attends, elle a commencé comment la carte? Harry d'ailleurs. Ok, donc on sait qu'on s'appelle Harry maintenant.
Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on.
Oh yes.
To
Attends.
what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
Mais non, il fallait que j'y aille à 13h. Oh, dis-moi pas que j'ai loose. Hein. Qu'est-ce que quoi? Vous écrivez dans le chat ou pas du tout? Non, parce que j'ai eu une déconnexion, je crois, du chat. Comment
There is
c'est?
nothing.
Au secours. Non, bon, c'est bon alors.
Again.
Oh putain,
Nothing
c'est
sad,
encore lui,
brother.
quoi.
No treachery, just blackout. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in... That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
C'était qui ça?
Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it, because it's always there.
Le deuil blanc.
Tell him.
Ah, yes. In the olfactory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so. It didn't smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
Bah, elle l'a pas trahi, il se fout de ta gueule. Non, non, t'inquiète, Eddie. Ah, t'as pas le temps de lire? C'est vrai, je clique trop vite. Je suis désolé. Bah, en fait, vu que c'est doublé, après, y a pas les doublages français. Sinon, je l'aurais bien mis en français, quoi. Attends. Je suis un connard et en vrai, il y a les doublages français? Mais non. Oh, je suis le pire si c'est le cas. Je suis vraiment désolé. Se trouve Voyager
There
Road.
is no Voyager Road. There are
Ouais,
no
non, ça
roads,
marche
no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all
c'est vrai.
on pause.
C'était quoi cette histoire d'ex quelque
Bloated
chose?
corpse of the past resurfacing.
Tout à fait.
Don't prod at it. It will start moving again.
Ok.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules. No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
Qu'est-ce que ça se froid?
They're pouring something on you. It's in you. And
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the
Suis-je?
upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
L'inspecteur approche une petite fiole de votre bouche. Boire.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone?
C'est vrai.
You need a secondary form of hydration.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water.
L'eau, y a rien de tel.
Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened?
Devrait vous
You
retourner
were
la question.
reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to.
Combien de temps je suis resté
10
inconscient?
minutes, maybe.
Ouais, c'est à peu près ça. Ouais, je suis rentré en contact avec les vestiges cassés du
That
passé.
does sometimes happen.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupation.
Ouais, il a l'air
hazard.
aussi.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Résolvons cette affaire. Let's go!
Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
Il se passe trop des dingues. F5. C'est passé beaucoup trop de trucs. -2 autorité. Oui, ouais, le pastis. L'œil blanc, c'est quoi? Observez en haut, vous êtes évanoui sur le carrelage bleu de la chambre d'hôtel. Même à cette distance, vous voyez vos paupières papillonner. Quel honneur, un gros objet blanc laissant flotter son doux parfum, comme du muguet. L'homme minuscule a oublié son nom, mais il ne se souvient mais il se souvient encore de cette sensation. Regardez, il bouge. Cette sensation l'anime. Il attrape instinctivement le compagnon de cette sensation, une bouteille de Commodore rouge. Il enfile ses vêtements disco et devient de plus en plus petit. Je sais pas à quoi ça sert d'intérioriser en fait. C'est que je vais gagner un bonus, c'est ça ou... Je comprends pas bien, ou c'est peut-être de... Je trouve des solutions. Ça me fait baisser mes stats peut-être pendant une partie. Un truc temporaire. Améliorer le niveau. J'ai rien pour améliorer le niveau là. Si on va mater les filigranes.
You see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Kim, comment est-ce que j'aime les phares?
Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl, like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time.
Appuyez sur les boutons
The
phares.
lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Inside,
No,
you see a set of steering
no.
levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool. As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river.
There she is. Revachol West.
Il y a une note de fierté dans la voix du lieutenant.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Examinez le plan des rues
The
irisées.
rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Pas si vite.
A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than
Ah, Martinez.
On est où sur cette carte?
Let me see. Right here.
Dit-il, son doigt pointé en haut de la carte sur un segment côtier qui avance dans le grand océan. Je suis sûr que j'ai vu pire.
Yes. Coal City. Le royaume. The burnt out quarter.
Examine les
there are many
perforations.
of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Comptez les différentes
The
rangées.
first row has 18 dots.
Quand est-il la
The
suivante?
next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Et comptez le
You
pari.
count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you.
Quand est-il
The
la
last
rangée?
row has 3 perforations.
3, c'est tout.
That's it.
Kim, que signifient ces trous? Montrez les points sur le
Those are
filigrane.
perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
The first row represents your years of
Oh
service.
putain.
18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Je me saoulais comme une méga star. Croyez-vous vraiment que j'ai la
Fair
moindre idée?
point. Let's this next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see, wow, more than 200.
216 pour être exact.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
Ah bon? Un super cop. Ce flic est top, il les gomme non-stop. J'étais quelqu'un de bien avant, une source de réconfort, je suppose. Que représente le dernier numéro?
Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
Donc je suis un tueur.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
Ah ouais, c'est vrai.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Vous avez déjà tué quelqu'un, Kim?
Yes.
Comment faites-vous pour gérer cette
Everyone
pression?
has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Genre quoi?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Bah si!
Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
C'est vrai.
The lieutenant nods.
C'est bon, allons-y.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
Point de talent!
You can now see your statistics on your journal page, to the right of the task.
Point de talent, point de talent! C'est le moment! C'est le moment! Qu'est-ce qu'on prend? Aïe 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 aïe! Bon, en psyché, je suis un peu une baise de l'infini, mais la culture de la ficaille. Pourrait être pas mal un truc de manipulation, non? Franchement, la vigueur, je suis pas sûr d'en avoir giga besoin. Motricité, il y a des trucs stylés, hein. Réactivité et tout, c'est ouf, hein. Empathie. Toi, t'aurais pris empathie, là? Empathie, c'est vrai que c'est pas mal, hein. Après, logique et encyclopédique, c'est très bien. Rhétorique aussi. Art dramatique, conceptualisation. Tout ça, c'est ouf, hein. L'intellect. Mais t'as raison, on va peut-être caler un petit point d'empathie, histoire de... On est quand même quelqu'un d'empathique. Et voilà, et on va essayer de faire en sorte que... Ok, très bien. On en est où? Je suis déjà perdu. Oh putain, il est 13h32, faut aller voir les cuisines. C'est à l'intérieur, non? Je crois. Découvrir qui est dans le box. C'est que... ça c'est demain. Qui a jeté vêtements. C'est comment demander à Garth. C'est pas genre cuisine là? Ah ok, si c'est ouvert, c'est impeccable. La vaisselle est en train de sécher, une odeur produit chimique de pain en émane. Oh. Oh. Punaise. Qu'est-ce qu'il veut lui? Sentant des pistes d'alcool et de tomates flottes dans l'air.
A
Let's
thin
go.
man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garancy and Kubek. Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Kubek. Please. It's not funny.
Bonjour monsieur, il vous du
The
temps pour
man
les questions.
puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
Restez viril. Vous avez des belles des
He
casseroles.
smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
Ok, il a pas grand chose à me dire lui.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
Touchez
The
la porte.
cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame. Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined. Whatever is behind it must be older. The
C'est pousser la
door does
porte.
not budge.
Montre
You
où elle
do.
mène.
It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
The winch, outside, in the backyard. Remember? No, your fingers do.
Your fingers do. Un treuil dehors, je m'en rappelle du treuil. Utiliser un petit ascenseur. Je peux pas résister à son bleu cobalt. C'est fait voler quelque chose à propos de cet endroit me donne envie de fouiner. Par devoir. On pourrait découvrir des éléments pertinents de notre enquête. Tout à fait.
Yes, I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in.
Bah
Just
oui.
to be thorough. As a side investigation.
Hey regarde, c'est une méga enquête.
Anyway, Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Ok. Encore que je lui parle à lui là. Vas-y, casse les couilles. Une brasse de ouf.
Can I help you?
Bien sûr que je suis un mec comme ça moi. Voici la clé de votre benne ordure.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
J'ai retrouvé les vêtements de la
How
victime.
strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Est-ce que quelqu'un parmi vos employés aurait pu le poser là?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Peut-être vous étiez
I think
somnambule, non?
fugue states are more your forte, officer.
Qui peut passer les
The
clés?
trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Bah oui.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself. Thank you anyway.
Yes.
J'ai autre chose au Whirling.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Les ministères sport bleu en
Oh,
acier.
yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Vous savez ce qu'il y a derrière et vous...
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Oh. Je pense que vous aimeriez voir ce
Fine,
ce qu'il y a
okay,
derrière.
a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of... So, I haven't opened it.
caisses.
I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though. After the animals.
Ah, merci.
Yes.
Ouais, non, mais bon, j'étais mort. C'est ça que les minicums tous les jours en petit-déj. Quoi, les minicums? Très bien, très bien, très bien. La porte d'été est fermée pour l'hiver. Très bien. Est-ce que je peux me brasser avec elle là?
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Mon bichet qui ça?
Why, you are, officer.
Peut-être que je suis
You're
un...
a
Merde,
handsome
j'ai pas
man,
mis ça.
officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin.
Regardez la gueule, hein. C'est celle-là, là. Alors, c'est sa gueule à lui, là. Là. Oh. Alors, regardez ce qu'elle vient de dire et regardez sa gueule. Non, mais... Moi, je dis ça, voilà, hein. Je pose ça là, quoi. Merci,
You must forgive
sympa.
me.
Hein.
I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself.
Quel de gitan.
I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Ah bon? Hmm. J'ai besoin d'argent. Vous avez pas de la tunasse? Et yo, Bray! Incroyable.
Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
Me paye, c'est
You
quoi me
must be
paye?
joking. Although our pay does sometimes feel like a joke.
It's not easy to assert your right to a decent living wage when you don't have a strong union behind you. Maybe you should talk to Everard, the union leader.
Interesting idea. This Everard sounds powerful. Maybe you can wrangle some coins out of his pocket.
On tente?
Try to force a tear out of your duct. Really rip into the whole
Ça part comme ça en
emotional
mode.
aggression thing.
Le coup dur. Et c'est la fin. Échec critique. Fumble critique. Alors, j'ai cramé comme un rat, c'est ça? Non! Comment? Mais comment je me soigne? Oh non.
Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. Whatever, you're still coming up with sentences.
Fuck me? Please leave the rage you have.
Nothing you can say would. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the
Très bien. On est reparti. Bon, heureusement que je quick save, hein. J'ai compris que le jeu était énervé, quoi. C'est ça.
late. Who's Sweetie?
Comment ça, mon bichet?
Why, you are Officer.
Ouais, ouais, t'es
Have
bon,
you
je suis ton
found
bichet.
anyone to be sweet to?
Les rituels amoureux, c'est fini pour moi. Ah, on peut essayer la drague. Eh.
You rascal. I'm too old for you, and too married besides. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband
FTL.
Morel and I are staying with our
Ah,
friend
mais FTL,
Gary
c'est
just
10
down
fois
the
moins
street, but
énervé que ça.
I
Hein.
come here for tea when they're
Là,
away.
c'est tu fais la moindre connerie, c'est terminado, mon gars. Hein. C'est youpla boum, ça retourne à la niche, quoi. Séjournons chez notre ami Gary, juste au bout de la rue. Je viens prendre le thé ici. Gary, c'est Gary le patron, là?
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew.
Je crois.
Hire her on the spot.
On ne ferme pas la porte à la mort, jamais. Ça vous dirait de m'accompagner? Parce qu'on essaye,
Whatever
là.
do you mean?
Soyez ma partenaire en fauteuil roulant, combattons le crime ensemble, débarrassons les cours de cadavres. Des cadavres et montons les tueurs séquentiels sous les verrous.
Sequence killers? Oh my. But I think you already have a partner.
A partner who needs you to help him get a corpse down from a tree.
Mais oui, j'ai oublié que vous étiez mon collègue. Je sais bien, mais il y a toujours des mystères secondaires à résoudre, des tueurs séquentiels et des incursions dans le paranaturel.
I can assure you with absolute certainty, there are no sequence killings.
Now, gentlemen, no need to squabble. I wouldn't be of much use to you anyway, sweetie.
Pourquoi 3 têtes valent
Thank
mieux que
you,
2?
but Martinez isn't the most wheelchair accessible place. Perhaps another time.
Bah sinon,
Oh,
t'as de la
sweetie,
thune.
I heard your conversation.
Try to force a tear out of your duct. Really rip into the whole emotional aggression thing.
Évidemment, j'aurais jamais dû la poser la question. Oh non, non!
Officer, get a hold of yourself, please.
Ah mais c'est bon. Je pense que vous savez le seul entendre me tente, ça va et faire. Bon, prenez-vous s'il vous
Sweetie,
plaît.
I'm sorry, but I think you need more help than I can give you.
Boire une gorgée. C'est quoi
You
une
must be
paye?
joking.
It's not easy.
Interesting idea. This Evra,
Très bien.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I don't have money for you. If there's anything else I can do for you,
Dommage,
just ask.
putain. Vous allez bien? Désolé de vous être rentré dedans. Putain, mais j'aurais dû le dire avant.
I'm more worried about you. What was that?
Le patron de ce café est un homme sans honneur ni compassion.
What do you mean?
Il me tourmentait en me demandant des sommes d'argent
He's
exorbitantes.
just on edge because of the lynching. Don't judge him too harshly. Anyway, I'm glad you weren't injured. Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
Ses yeux suivent vos mouvements avec inquiétude. J'ai tellement bu que j'ai littéralement oublié.
Oh my. You know where we are, right?
On est morts, on se hante les uns les autres, on est des fantômes.
Now. We are live in a hostel called the Whirling in Rags. And the Whirling itself is in the city of Yes.
I see.
And Revachol?
Capitale déchue du monde ou un truc du genre?
Yes, great. See? We're getting somewhere. What else do you know about our city of splendor? Tattered as she may be.
Honnêtement, je sais que dalle de Revachol. C'est
How
quel
would
genre
I even
d'endroit?
begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I.
Ah ouais,
I
ça a
haven't
pas l'air
seen
grave.
very many other cities personally, but everyone says so.
Ouais.
Revachol is a rare jewel. This
Ouais,
city
c'est comme
used
les
to rule the
Parisiens.
world, though
Ils
it
disent que
has
Paris
seen
c'est la
better
meilleure ville au
days.
monde. Quand tu es, il y a un. Restez-y bien, surtout.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
Printemps de l'année 51, tout à
That's
fait.
right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen.
Oh!
Knowledge should always be rewarded.
her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there. But now she...
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
C'est une bonne question. En vrai, j'ai pas assez d'infos pour savoir, mais au vu de la gueule un peu de tout, je suis pas certain qu'on soit dans un état qui prône des valeurs communistes. On est déterminé que sur les marchés les plus libres nous gouvernent. Tout le monde travaille d'arrache-pied en se prenant pour des génies visionnaires. Les radios sont utilisés pour contrôler l'esprit des gens altérés. Sur la réalité, discipliner nos véritables maîtres. On est sous un régime policier. Ça a l'air un peu probable, hein.
Actually, we are not. You could say that about almost any other nation, but not Revachol. Try one more time, officer. What mode of government?
Ah. La 5, elle m'a fait beaucoup rire. Non, mais en vrai, peut-être la 1, la 2.
Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be people who thought that way. Other people who wanted those things, but they all went extinct. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat.
But they still have cops.
C'est vrai. C'est aucun gouvernement, comment
Oh
est-il possible qu'il y ait
dear,
des
this
flics?
is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
Pouvez-vous me parler de cette
A
révolution?
defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
Quel lien avec le fait qu'il n'y ait pas de
It
policiers?
has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better.
Alors, comment je me
You
débrouille?
didn't do too well, dear. You really only knew what year it is. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Reality, in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Et qui pourrait m'en dire plus?
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
Elle se tourne vers le lieutenant.
I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe?
Quoi?
Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person.
That's a good point. This doesn't look like Rich Central.
C'est clair.
Of course, dear.
Oh, je suis en train de me faire full brasse. Je suis en train de me faire giga full brasse. Là, littéralement, ils m'ont rien raconté, quoi. Stylo avec le gentil singe vert. On peut faire des trucs genre comme ça, là. Quoi, je peux les mettre au niveau de mes lunettes? Chapeau. Bon, ampoule d'ammoniac, on sait à quoi ça nous sert, interagir. Mon carnet, il est où, là? C'est dans outils, non? Ah, mais je l'ai en main gauche. Mais c'est un outil. Attendez, pas sûr. Hein? Tu peux marcher pieds nus, ouais, mais après c'est des stats, non? C'est ça. Il y avait pas un treuil dans le coin là? Mais c'est ça, non? Ça c'est full un treuil. Pourquoi il y a des trucs là, là? Ah mais c'est le en haut. J'en ai plein le huc.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Kuno, je trouvais ta cabane, bâtard.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack.
Ouais.
It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in?
Je me suis défacé pour passer à travers le matériau de toiture.
Shit. Get the fuck out of here. You can't do that.
He can't do that, Kuno. He's gonna fuck
Kuno?
at you again.
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport shit. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right?
Je trouvais une plaque couverte de restes de poudre. Tu saurais pas ce que
That's
c'est
where
par hasard?
Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fuck.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
Quoi, c'était de peur?
That? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
Waouh. Vas-y, on va essayer.
What is this shit? Fucking on yourself. This is weird level shit. Kuno doesn't go there.
Fuck your shit back to normal. What is this?
Well played. No one saw that coming.
C'est vrai. T'aurais pas un tube de
It's a
magnésium là?
vitamin pig. Don't you know anything?
Il vous regarde comme si vous veniez de montrer au soleil et lui demander ce que
You could
c'était.
use some.
C'est magnésium,
it's
pas
the
vrai?
mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a bottle.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
Arrête ton chat.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Mon dieu, mais il est teubé lui, j'en peux
Fuck
plus,
you,
putain.
pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna
Oh,
OD
mais les
and you're
deux,
gonna
en
fucking
fait.
die.
Ah, ce serait pas
Is it?
manteau là-bas?
You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all that.
Après tout ça, quoi?
Don't sweat it, drunk pig. Kuno will keep your nasty secrets. Kuno's not snitching.
He's saying you climbed up there. He probably saw you do it.
Ah.
Yet, that conclusively explains how the coke got up there.
Est-ce qu'il est possible de rentrer dans le port depuis
Of
le
course
toit?
you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just gotta fly, pig.
Je dois sauter pour entrer dans le port à mon âge, dans mon état?
Not everyone can fly like Kuno. You're old. You'll never make it. Moose piss has made you scared in the head.
Moose piss is probably alcohol. That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pansy. Just jump.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
Prends
The
au niveau de
fuck
ta
do you
cabane.
want with it? Good
non,
call,
c'est bon.
Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno doesn't...
Non mais il m'a saoulé la
Hear
Kuno
that?
là.
Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium levels and not the high alcohol levels.
Ouais,
Yeah,
ok,
the
ouais.
other things. Long live the other things. Made
Fais
you
pas ta
stronger than
chaussette,
ox they
ouais.
have.
J'ai une carence
Yes,
en magnésium alors?
and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium.
Faut que je prenne
You
du
need to
magnésium?
get so magged up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. And the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium.
Oui, non mais calmez-vous. Si je comprends bien, je dois devenir une forme de vie basée sur
Yes.
magnésium?
If you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system. Just remember, it's not the alcohol. Buy more of that too. Alcohol is not the problem. And it's certainly not the dextroamphetamine. Nor smoking for 40 years. It's the lack of magnesium and excess of coffee. You should stop drinking coffee. It wreaks havoc on your gastrointestinal system.
Ah, ils aiment bien, ils sont mignons. Ils sont mignons, ils sont mignons. Bon, très bien, j'ai compris, je vais le bouffer le magnésium. Casse-moi pas les couilles là. Ampoule d'ammoniac. Ah oui, mais non, mais j'ai pas de magnésium. Je croyais qu'il y en avait le marmot là. Forme de vie, santé sur le carbone, les molécules s'emboîtent pour former des structures complexes. Pas de penser, aimer, de se mouvoir. Très bien. On intériorise, on intériorise. Je sais pas à quoi ça sert d'intérioriser là. Vraiment, je comprends pas trop. Je pense que c'est assimiler des compétences. Ça doit être un truc comme ça. Bon, qu'est-ce qu'on fait là? Est-ce qu'on se claque l'ampoule d'ammoniac pour essayer de merdier truc? Comment on fait pour utiliser en fait? Attendez, déjà F5 parce que on connaît le délire.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes.
Plus 1, vous êtes en possession d'ammoniac.
Entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now. You crack open the ammonia ampoule and
Les ampoules d'ammoniac qui aspirent un coup. Nice.
Is still stronger. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your eyes squinting, you stand in it. This delicate machine, ready for picking. Instinctively, you crack your fingers.
Ça ressemble toujours à ça.
After 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them.
C'est très bien.
Delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world around you. Out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor. Possibly part of a larger set.
Ce ne sont pas de simples bottes, c'est une armure.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are
Je là et boum et Takata subpif paf péon.
Incroyable! Merci énormément Esteban! Kiris, 24 points à la vie de l'argent, mais c'est beau Patrick! Incroyable, merci beaucoup pour la thune. Comment va Esteban? Esteban! Bah après, intérioriser, ouais, je pense que c'est une compétence en vrai. Je pense que ça peut être comme considéré comme une compétence, très sincèrement. Quel genre d'armure exactement?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
On peut
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
Peut-être que porter juste ses bottes, elles n'appartiennent pas à un ensemble.
I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirts we found to get to it. And this kind of armor is often worn under fabrics.
Ouais, sous, ouais. Eh ben écoute, tranquille gros hein. Le week-end pépouze. Ah, Ismaël, incroyable. Le Bray Barla là. Ça fait longtemps Bray. Qu'est-ce que ça raconte toi aussi là?
Nice.
Hein, la forme?
That makes sense.
They usually hang them completely naked for that.
Monde de
La puta
sac.
madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties, and the like. This one still has his underpants.
Fucking talking about underpants.
Clearly, Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to.
Frappez
A
la bête du
small
pied.
bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Ça paraît
It's
fragile.
anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them, altered like whirls of floorboards.
Ouais,
The
l'accent
design
il est
looks
incroyable.
organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials like lignum vitae and ebony, perhaps.
Quoi ça me fait
If
penser?
trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
C'est votre doigt sur les
The
strings.
smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabbath. The whorls are in the shape of a letter and number combination: E50, 100, 1000.
On dirait qu'il y a un numéro de série sur le soleil droit.
Good. Can you read it to me?
Il mouille la pointe asséchée de son stylo avec sa langue. E500, 100, 1000.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
Ok. Comment ce type a
That's
su
for us
payer un
to
take
find
mort?
out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
Votre rapport initial?
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
C'est un peu trop sophistiqué pour un vigile, non?
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Ah. Retirez
The
la basse.
stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound.
Stop!
Oh, le lieutenant d'une voix aiguë. Il vous regarde alors que vous tenez la botte sous le bras.
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
C'est pour eux comme idée, c'est ça?
You're going to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
Je vais arracher
Yes,
la
that's
tête,
what
pas
I
vrai?
said. You'll compromise the coroner's case if you do. So please, don't.
yeah.
Indeed, from this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much more. Being dead for a week has all but liquefied his muscles.
Ouais.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
Ces bottes seraient super avec mon pantalon pas de def, putain, mais quel enculé. Faire un peu de thune. Désolé, je voulais même pas les retirer. Je me disais juste que ça
Try
valait la
what
peine d'essayer.
exactly?
If you can't experiment, how will you learn?
C'est vrai. Rhétorique. J'ai sans doute envie d'expérimenter un truc, vous savez. Suivre mon âme d'explorateur.
I see what you mean. But even so, there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't scavenged them yet?
C'est pas
There
faux.
might still be a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Très bonne idée.
The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky.
Ok, puis
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
The
Ok,
cadaver
observé.
slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched. The hangman's
Descendre.
knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Oh, le jeu te brasse, mais d'une force. Mais vous voyez, ça c'est vraiment, je trouve, la patte des bons jeux vidéo. Et même de tout, en fait, parce que film, série compris, livre, etc. Mais un petit peu de lore, et même si c'est un peu useless, mais ça donne un petit côté où, tu vois, tu plonges en ambiance. Ça, c'est malin. Ne me demandez pas d'où je tiens ça, mais c'est une sangle d'amarrage utilisée pour les transports aériens de marchandises.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparemment, c'est le modèle renforcé pour le transport aérien, c'est ce que me dit mon
The
cerveau.
local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
Donc, ce serait des dockers du port qui auraient fait le coup. Ça tient. T'avais pas vraiment à le voir carapater, la corde a été renforcée avec du fil d'acier. Je suis pas sûr en vrai, surtout quand t'étrangles un mec, franchement il va pas bouger. Hein. Moi j'irais
The
ça.
brief
Ouais.
suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
Mon passé était totalement annihilé, il me reste rien. Certainement
Okay.
pas un briefing.
You should ask me for one the first moment we get.
T'avais vraiment pas à le voir
I
carapater.
was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
Comment il a réussi à
A
l'accrocher?
noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Hein? Ça a pas l'air d'être un nœud coulant ça.
I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt. Buckle closes. It's what I would do. Seems easier than climbing up there.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
Ah.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt.
Il y a des
Limp and
tatouages.
intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Ah. Dispositif microélectronique, c'est
I have only
possible.
a cursive knowledge of the science of cybernetics. I would not know if it were. But it's
It doesn't seem familiar from the insides of any radio computer your mind can imagine. The somewhat organic lines remind you of old filament memory units, but not quite. No, you're nowhere near right.
Il y a un truc qui m'échappe. Un crissement résonne soudain dans l'air tandis que le lieutenant descend la fermeture éclair de son blouson orange.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Remontez votre bras, ouais, c'est vrai que ça faisait un peu ça. C'est quoi ça? C'est le lieutenant travailler.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
What the
an
fuck?
instant color camera.
Il sort 2 ampoules entourées de métal et les installe sur les côtés de l'appareil. Vous discernez une petite fente.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
Braque l'appareil photo sur le corps et regarde dans le viseur. Une mise au point est nécessaire. Puis,
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
inflammable.
In case we need it.
Dit le lieutenant en secouant le papier pour faire sécher dans le vent glacé. Dessus, la parfaite reproduction en couleur de la poitrine tatouée du défunt. Quoi cette fessure?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Je peux apprendre, je jetterai un œil plus tard sans odeur du cadavre.
Just don't lose it.
Boutant le rouleau de papier photo, guère plus grand qu'un paquet de
The
cigarettes.
glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute, his
Regarde dans les
eyes
yeux.
are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Cours intérieur. Yes. Je suis parti. Où es-tu allé? Je vois que tu es parti, mais qui es-tu? Que se passe-t-il? Je te déteste, ce chelin, il était chiant. Je vois bien que tu es parti, mais qui es-tu?
Look at me.
Ah, vraiment, là, je discute avec... ok. Maintenant, oui, mais qui es-tu de ton vivant?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
J'ai une autre question pour
Go
toi.
ahead.
Où es-tu allé?
Into the wild pale yonder.
C'est où?
In the past. Way out in the west.
Que se passe-t-il?
What do you mean?
C'est à toi que je parle.
It's the power of your
Une sorte de mousse noirâtre bouillonne sur le coin de ses lèvres.
imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions.
Pourquoi j'aime autant les questions?
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Ouais, fais peut-être
Here
des
you
questions.
go, you loony.
Raoul, c'est mon nom.
Fuck no. You're no Rooney. Between you and me,
Oui.
your name is probably Harry.
Se paraît-il que je serais
You
moi,
can be
Eric?
anything you want,
Hermano.
brother Corpo.
Pourquoi j'ai la sensation d'avoir oublié un truc horrible?
Because you have.
Schling.
Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
Ah. Je me rappelle un bébé atteint d'arléquinisme.
You sure we got out of that one?
D'arléquinisme, pardon.
Coppellini. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Une conversation foudroyante, c'est clair. Puis ses yeux reculés d'un pas.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration? Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
Son visage et les chemins sont rouges ainsi que ses cuisses.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
Je pense qu'il est mort. Non. s'est fait tabasser.
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
Ah, mais c'est ces fils de pute, c'est vrai qu'ils sont en train de balancer des cailloux sur le cadavre depuis je sais pas combien de temps. Putain, mais je te jure que si j'avais mon gun, le marmot là, il serait déjà pris sa meilleure balle et l'autre aussi là, instantanément. Comme ça, enquête, bam, 2 cadavres en plus, je fais passer ça sous le compte de la drogue. Parce qu'ils avaient de la cam dans leur petite cabane. Je dis que c'était des drogués qui refilaient de la... Ouais, que j'ai démantelé un réseau de cybercriminels. Et puis tout va bien, quoi. Je pense qu'il était en position verticale.
Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head.
Le tourniquet.
The hypostasis supports her hanging.
Se pourrait-il qu'on les déplace après la
There's
mort?
always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates
Voilà une
before you,
idée qu'elle est bonne, en vrai, clairement.
decomposing.
Bah alors, comment on le
Are
décroche?
you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's down.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
J'ai besoin de
Of
savoir quelque chose de
course.
Maccabée.
You have questions, don't you? The pack come back
Oh mais
late.
vas-y, on le décroche là, let's go.
The steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
Bah oui, ouais, il faut couper au-dessus là en grimpant.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
Petit trait de bruit. Il y a trop enfants sur
The
terre.
cadaver
Ah,
is a good
putain.
1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Personne d'autre ne
Someone
pourrait
else?
s'en charger?
You mean like the police?
What was that about processing, then? Weren't they supposed to take care of the boots? Why don't they help?
Il y a l'institut médico-légal, ils peuvent pas s'en charger?
No.
Ah, pourquoi?
Think of the boys from processing as murderers. Only instead of people, they murder crime scenes. Processing is a wrecking crew. They know how to commission off items and how to work the incinerator in the... I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
On pourrait essayer,
Climb up
ouais.
there and saw the branch?
Nous, on pourrait le faire en utilisant l'échelle. L'échelle de ses enfants sur le côté de la...
I don't trust that ladder. The assailants didn't use it. It's rotten and less sturdy than it looks. And I don't see another good way up there. Honestly, I prefer a non-acrobatic solution to this. There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Nos armes.
Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
Oh, mais toi,
Oh.
tu vas t'en prendre une.
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch, that's a good spot to aim.
C'est vrai. Là, cette boucle maintient la sangle d'un seul tenant.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain the Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
Laissez-moi
The
essayer.
lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said.
I'll blow
Qu'est-ce
his
qu'on
head
risque?
off.
Quoi? Lui exploser le crâne? Non mais frère, tu tires en haut là?
Take it!
Yeah, take the shot.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place.
Ok.
That's a Kiel A9090 armistice, mass-produced muzzle loader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Descendons. Non, nous ça connaît.
The chick's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air. And
God damn it.
a lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's desk was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight.
Fucking idiot!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
Tout va bien,
Kuno's
mec.
sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano clan.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
Essaye
No,
peut-être.
we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that. I have to say, it's
Ça marche,
beginning
Eddie.
to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
Tu sais, tu considères pas trop un manchot avec un flingue. Bah ouais, moi j'ai pas mal de points là-dedans. Je peux avoir autre arme, j'aimerais essayer.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
Oh, je pète un câble si vraiment je lose à cause de ça.
Gun!
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banani poika! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
Évaluer
The
d'abord le
cold
poids de
piece
l'arme.
of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard. You've held this, an A9 armistice, before. At some point, it probably used to be your choice of firearm. It's
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
21 va à
the
100.
buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Mon dieu. Permet
Your
d'avoir l'œil
field of
gauche.
view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, catching the noon light as the corpse slowly rotates. The slow movement of the branch in the wind and your shoulders directing the gun sync up, dancing hypnotically.
Look, he's crying! You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
21 sur le gamin.
Set me free!
Mais ils sont trop cons.
Don't.
Sentez la main du lieutenant se poser sur votre épaule.
Do it!
Sang-froid légendaire, presser la détente. Ah non, non, on va pas faire ça quand même. Il mérite un peu. Là j'ai envie, mais en même temps, je sais que ça va être
Intense
l'échec.
shit, Copper.
Fucker waved his gun! It wasn't intense, it was pathetic!
J'ai envie de crever. Vas-y, Zombie, ouais. Mais putain, ils
A
savent
plume
pas
of
tirer,
smoke
ces
erupts
mongolos.
from the barrel. Your hand goes numb from the explosion. With your ears still ringing, you lower the weapon to see what happened. You missed the belt, but hit the corpse straight in the chest. Bits of ribcage protrude from the skin. No blood, only a murky sludge dripping down his belly.
Ah, mange tes grands morts, le jeu!
Despair creeps into you.
Oh là
But in
là,
fact,
vas-y
you're
quoi!
Whatever
Ah, c'est
nobulity, you're still coming
abusé!
up with sentences. He
Ouais,
watches
ouais,
you
ouais,
melt
non mais
down
j'ai envie de crever,
slowly.
mais ça c'est
Nothing you
clair.
can cop gives
Oh
up.
putain, ça a pris 70 ans! Mon dieu! Oh, le jeu il est bâtard avec ça, hein. Ah, le jeu est une chienne, hein. Ah, je vous jure que vous pouvez passer 45 minutes à discuter de merde et autres,
There he
et
still
pour au
is,
final l'avoir dans le
looking
fion,
right
quoi.
through you with his white eyes. The body below is intact.
Active decay.
He's about to blow. Cop's gonna blow, Kuno.
Mais attends, j'avais pas aussi peu, non?
You crack open
Ah oui, mais
this
j'ai
delicate
l'ampoule,
machine.
ouais,
The
ouais.
man
Oh, j'ai
before
envie
you
de
is the
crever,
material,
quoi.
delicate and fragile.
Oh
These
my
are clearly
goodness,
not
oh my
Indeed.
damn!
Plate under the heel.
Oh
The locals
damn!
should keep a look. No, I think he had some.
Ah, c'est... En
That
fait,
makes sense.
vous savez pourquoi ça c'est pas bien? Moi, je comprends que faire un jet de dés, un mauvais jet de dés, c'est cool de pénaliser un mauvais jet de dés, parce que c'est tout l'intérêt en fait de rater ou de réussir et en fonction de faire tes choix. Le gros problème, c'est qu'en gros, ça te refait faire toute la discussion qui n'a aucun intérêt puisque tu as déjà tout lu. Ça sert à rien en fait, un mauvais jet de dés, ça doit pas te faire perdre la game, ça doit juste te dire genre en mode tu pourras pas refaire cette action là et tu dois te démerder autrement et tu vois de trouver des autres actions pourries quoi, ou je sais pas moi, que ça te fasse chier, que t'aies des... On
C'est
va
de la
dire
merde.
des points négatifs derrière, bah c'est un peu de la merde en vrai. Moi j'aime pas du tout, tu vois. Ça c'est une décision qu'ils ont prise, mais je suis pas du tout d'accord avec ça. Enfin, personnellement, je sais pas ce que vous en pensez, vous. AFK, ah ouais, tu connaissais pas?
Bon, ben révolte.
Bon bah, révolte. Tu maîtrises les fins, non mais... C'est pour que tu puisses changer. Bah ouais, mais c'est tout là où justement les jets de dés c'est débile. En fait, si le jeu te fait refaire le dialogue, ça veut dire que tu peux changer en fonction de toi les réponses que t'as eues et de ce que t'as eu de mauvais ou de bénéfique ou de machin. Mais bah du coup c'est pas un jeu, tu vois, c'est en fait un jeu couloir, tu vois, t'as Tomb Raider. T'es dans un Tomb Raider, bon bah tu cours, tu sautes de la corniche parce que tu te dis que tu peux peut-être le choper. Tu te vautres, tu meurs. Bon bah... Tu recharges et puis tu essayes de trouver un autre chemin, tu vois. Dans un Tomb Raider, ça se comprend, parce qu'en fait, il n'y a qu'une seule manière. Mais là, dans un jeu où tu as de la discussion et tu as plusieurs phases de dialogue qui vont t'amener à potentiellement des trucs particuliers, bah là, non. Si tu dois revenir au point d'origine, bah du coup, en fait, t'as qu'un seul chemin, tu vois ce que je veux dire. En fait, c'est simuler le fait que tu aies des discussions qui aient un intérêt ou de comment tu amènes les discussions. Donc, honnêtement... Bah, moi, je pensais qu'ils étaient plus intelligents que ça. Ça, je trouve, personnellement, je trouve que... tu sais, maintenant, j'ai l'habitude de dire personnellement, alors que quand on dit je trouve, techniquement, c'est personnel, forcément. Mais je trouve que c'est giga dommage. Ils gâchent beaucoup de... Ça, c'est pas agréable. Bah, déjà, en fait, je comprends pourquoi en stream, ça se fait pas, du coup. Parce qu'en vrai, en stream, c'est trop chiant de faire ça. Parce que là, les gens, ils s'emmerdent. Et moi, je dois recliquer pendant 45 minutes sur des textes de dialogue de merde pour refaire tout le truc. Ah, mais c'est une sandale, 100 fois. Et en fait, tu te fais vraiment chier pour rien. En fait, ça n'a aucun intérêt puisque je vais redevoir recliquer sur tous les trucs. Tu vois?
Clearly, Kuno.
It is. We've requested for a full.
For the North,
Not too much. I
Voilà,
have no
c'est de
idea
faire ça,
what
quoi.
that's for us to. I agree.
a small,
It's anything.
faint, like whirls of floorboards, with trees with smooth. The whirls are in the shape of a letter, and
Good. We have a make and a number. That
the cadaver slowly twists. The hangman's knot is pulled. This is a
airlifting. The local harbor uses 6 The brief suggested that. Then you should ask me. I was afraid it would be. The news is
Je lis
that
même pas
ladder
en
can-
fait. Je sais même pas si c'est le même
The
choix que
shape
j'ai
of
fait, mais on
the
s'en bat les
cadaver
couilles en
hang
fait.
an intricate,
The map of the.
as if some
So am I.
he takes a thin piece,
Let you get some.
triggered. It's
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
Quoi? Ah oui, c'est
An
vrai.
instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
De toutes les
a
réponses.
sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small
C'était
ampoule of
nazi.
glass. You see streams.
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
Non, mais on
There
s'en
is
branle.
only one ampoule.
It contains insight to the victim's person. By
Super.
his build, I'd say sure.
The glassy-eyed corpse. His dark brown hair grows on his head. The corpse.
Who is he? He is male, 40.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from. As you narrow your eyes, this is only the lower extra.
I see it.
The monster.
So, what do you think? I agree.
His person.
Totally dead.
Je
That
pense qu'il est
sounds about
mort.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes. Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a... Everything here seems to corroborate that assumption. But I do.
Stop
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno!
The pool of
The victim...
the fucking.
Talking about shit.
Quoi? La victime avait pas plus de 500 ans de nous dire déjà dans. Peut-être qu'il est au chiottes. Quoi?
Maybe.
Déjà, ouais, déjà que le jeu est pas dynamique, mais encore.
but
Ça
there
se
is no
comprend,
breath
tu vois,
to
parce
catch.
que c'est un
Only
jeu
the
où le
cadaver
gameplay c'est pas
filling the
censé être
air
dynamique.
enter your nostril.
Et c'est cool,
He
mais
slowly
par contre,
rotates
faut pas
before
casser
you,
le rythme. En vrai,
decomposing.
ça casse le rythme. Moi, honnêtement, hein, ça c'est le genre de truc où je le fais 3-4 fois des rewinds de discussion. En fait, t'as juste envie de quitter le jeu, quoi. Bon, en fait, vraiment, j'ai du mal à comprendre. Je peux pas comprendre. J'arrive pas à comprendre quel est l'intérêt. Si ce n'est d'être très punitif. Mais c'est punitif tellement violemment que bah tu perds ton temps et tu perds le fil.
Are you sure we've
Enfin, c'est
finished
même
the
pas
preliminary
agréable, tu vois. C'est
examination
quand
of
même
the
une
cadaver?
expérience.
We might miss some of these things once it's done.
Le problème dans ce monde parallèle, c'est les enfants. Non, mais les enfants, ils sont insupportables, quoi.
He doesn't.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt.
Okay. Okay. Let's do it in the lousy, dangerous way.
Rentrer à l'intérieur du port.
From the gate. By negotiating.
To the gates. Let's negotiate.
Ça va pas être dangereux.
To ask the suspect for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Everard Clare? Very much, yes. Which is why I would have preferred us to handle this ourselves. Clearly we can't.
Suck my dick, bitches!
He's a dangerous and corrupt man, and we cannot predict what he will want from us in return.
Yeah? Don't go being someone else's bitches. You're Kuno's bitches.
Je rentre pas de temps CD, mais si je le fais, je repère 20 minutes, là. Ça fout, quoi. Non, et puis Kuno, enfin, genre... En fait, c'est marrant, c'est que un gamin comme ça, là, hein, dans une ville, voilà, où finalement t'as pas trop de police et machin truc. Bon, bah, le gamin, tu le croises, il te parle comme ça, il se prend un coup de baramine pleine bouche, quoi. Tu vois, tu le retrouves pareil que lui, là, mais par terre, en train de vomir du sang. Et puis, en fait, ça n'existe plus. Donc, la sélection naturelle ferait que, réellement, Ça n'existe pas des gamins comme ça. C'est pas possible. Amène l'incendiaire, on va... Non, non, non. Je vote à droite. Incroyable.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky, but something's not right.
Qui es-tu?
Gone.
Classification de ce
to
tatouage.
discover. You've gotten as far as you will without someone who knows about history could tell you.
En fait, tu sais, c'est quoi le pire dans ma life? C'est ça, en fait. En fait, c'est que le psyché... Moi, je savais pas, mais en fait, si vous voulez, là, ce point-là, c'est le point de morale qui est lié au nombre de points de psyché que vous avez choisi. Et ça, si t'as fait la boulette d'en mettre qu'un seul, c'est finito, quoi. T'es devenu de droite, non mais putain. Pour tabasser des gosses? Ah non, non. C'est pas une question de droite ou de gauche, là. C'est de l'évidence. Moi, je suis désolé, mais si tu trouves des gamins en train de balancer des cailloux sur des cadavres parce que ça leur fait plaisir, et que tous les mecs qui croisent les insultent leurs grands morts en mode gratos et ils sniffent de la cocaïne à 12 ans, là... Hein, où il se met des amphétamines plein dans le nez toute la journée. Bon, bah, au bout d'un moment, pareil, faut faire le tri, quoi. Là c'est plus de l'éducation qu'il faut, tu vois. Non, parce que bon... Non, mais c'est vrai, faut dire ce qui est, quoi. Là, c'est rendre service. C'est plus... ce qu'on appelle rendre service pour le gamin, quoi. Bon, du coup, je vais mettre un point. Non, mais en vrai, c'est vrai que c'est dommage. Et là, je sais pas, moi, comment augmenter, là. Putain, mais moi, j'enlèverais bien un point, là, en vigueur, pour mettre un point en psyché. Bon, bah, en tout cas, si vous jouez au jeu, sachez un truc, mettez pas un en psyché. Au moins 2. Minimum. En fait, les 2 points les plus importants, c'est psyché et vigueur. Puisque c'est ça qui définit vos points de vie et vos points de morale. Mais il faut au moins en avoir 2, parce qu'au moins, vous pouvez tanker un truc, quoi. Sinon vous avez envie de canner. Dès que vous ratez un truc, vous êtes baisé. C'est dur, quoi. Bon, j'ai dit que je mettais quoi? J'aime bien encyclopédie aussi. Réactivité aussi, c'est cool. Après ça peut m'aider aussi. C'est cache. Les parents qu'il faut taper, hein, mais tout le monde, hein. Société protectrice des enfants. Non mais gros, c'est pas un enfant, là. C'est plus un être humain. À ce niveau-là, le gamin, il est ravagé, quoi. Mais qu'est-ce que tu vas en faire? Genre, vraiment, c'est chaud quand même. Pour éviter de te faire troll par le jeu, bah non, bah tu vois là pour tirer, je pense que c'est coordination visio-tactile qu'il te faut. Sans froid. Activité, moi j'aime bien l'activité. Je pense que je vais mettre un point en activité. Rien de la vie sexuelle. Non mais quelle vie sexuelle de ces deux mongols là.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Oh,
Kuno doesn't.
Hey Kuno, t'es grand mort là. Putain.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my sh. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
Je vais juste te poser des questions.
Going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Quoi, c'est bizarre que tu
I
utilises
come from the
gamine.
woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Putain, pour les streams dans
Don't
le
be
jeu.
traumatizing here. Get the.
Oh my god, quoi. Non mais ils sont tous ravagés, c'est pas possible. Qu'est-ce que je vais foutre là? Vas-y, mais en fait j'ai envie de me barrer d'ici. Il est quelle heure? Putain, mais bientôt une heure. Poète. Oh là là. Oh, j'ai si peu avancé.
This Postlavantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front. A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant.
Va te faire foutre. Ouais, c'est bien.
The box seems happy.
Bah,
Eat shit,
super.
pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
J'ai vécu ça, je comprends.
The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow.
Non mais d'accord, mais je peux pas avoir des charges là en plus. Fuck. Sur la couverture de ce livre, vous voyez une rose, un pistolet, une femme, moitié nez. Sur la couverture, vous voyez un homme très musclé entouré de flammes. Un livre érotique mais sans scène érotique. Gousse pas un livre érotique. Ce livre parle de pâté, très bien. On s'en branle. Un livre sur la culture des bioadieros. Deiros. Je peux le reste. Un livre sur l'avenir, le gouvernement lie notre esprit grâce à la technologie radiophonique. Bah ouais, hein, les vaccins, la 5G, microparticules, nanoparticules. Incroyable. Rond-point nord. Faites briser, Tibbs répare, Tibbs remplace.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Pauvre petit
The metal
zoom.
feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Regardez à
A thick
l'intérieur.
layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled back. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Pericarnassian church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards. Around the large wooden building you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
Huh. Ah bah l'univers visuel est super. Oh mais il y a plein de trucs trop bien sur le jeu hein.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
Oh vas-y hein.
Your money disappears into the coin slot, a clunk, the ring of metal. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape. Like the lenses shift, the ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible, a half-sunken sea fort. Its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it.
Il y a un bâtiment en ruine là.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Ton personnage a envie de jouer à Bread. Toi. Ah putain, attends, est-ce que je commence déjà à partir? Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce Delbord? Sans rire des mouettes au loin. Il est encore tôt. Je peux pas lui parler à lui? C'est que ça. De la tunasse. Lui avec criblé de balles. Très bien. Toi. Remarquable force tectonique a fissuré l'asphalte comme une vulgaire coquille d'œuf. C'est un bon ça.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
L'autre est en train d'engloutir un énorme sandwich.
To, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're
Concentration.
old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
D'ailleurs, ce que vous allez voir.
That's the spirit. Don't even waste your breath asking about the game. They wouldn't know anyway. They're way past their prime.
Allez. Sont là les vieux, clairement.
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter. You'll make it work. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. Time has frozen.
Sans
the
la
cold
boule.
metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it. Probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory. Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating, until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is
Il y a encore du temps pour une ultime introspection.
an embodiment of
Non mais au
pure
secours
motion,
quoi.
a fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency.
C'est pas plus difficile de compenser une inertie que ça l'est avec une balle de revolver. Là que sa balle c'est toi. Tout à fait. T'as sauvé. Oh putain. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Et il balance vraiment.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
Ah bah ouais, tu m'étonnes.
A whorehouse of shit. It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters, probably 24, and then some. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
What the hell is your problem?
Bah ouais, ça joue pas trop comme ça. Tu dois pas mal ce triceps droit.
I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful.
Désolé.
Vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 boules.
C'est vrai. Sans rancune. À la pétanque. Putain, elle est pas mal. À la
Yes,
pétanque.
pétanque. You ruined our pétanque game. We want our bull back.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
C'est vrai, y a
Of
pas
course
bordel.
there's harm done, you
Ah bon?
orange slug. You are as a goddamn bull. Good. Mistakes are forgiven. When men at least try to right their wrongs.
So
I believe
vite.
you will
Ah,
fight.
vite.
Now why did you approach us?
Yes, why did you come here? It's unlikely they know anything about the murder.
Ouais, bah on sait jamais. Kuno mes couilles là, c'est marqué de partout. À moins que ce soit deux gamins attardés qui taguent tous les bords de merdier. Peut-être que c'est un truc quoi. L'homme perdu, pendu au cours, machin. Ouais.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely. In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties.
Bon, un peu sexiste. Bah alors. La glissade. Toi qui avais l'air d'être plutôt droit dans tes bottes, au final, hein, ça a glissé sur la dernière phrase. Dommage ça. Ah, on était à ça. Hein. On était à ça que le mec il soit quelqu'un de normal en fait. Je sais pas si on peut parler de normalité, mais quelqu'un de serein et droit dans ses bottes quoi. C'est cool. Ouais, ils ont tous un accent français. Il y en a qui en ont encore pire. C'était les deux flics là, c'était exceptionnel l'accent français qu'ils avaient. Ouais, c'est vrai. Sans parler de faire un peu de ménage dans le poste et de préparer des bons
No
plats.
man can afford to turn his eyes to the horizon if his rear isn't secured.
C'est chaud.
If the women folk take care of that, then men can tackle the bigger issues.
C'est vrai. Parce que c'est le rôle des hommes, ça. Les vrais problèmes. Hein? Pendant que les femmes, elles sont derrière en train de faire le ménage. Alors, elles sont bien gentilles parce que voilà. Elles nous aident à avancer, mais bon. C'est grâce à Bibi si on avance. Hein? C'est facile de dire, hein, gna gna gna, nous les femmes, nos droits égaux. Oh, oh, oh. Hein? On se calme. Voilà. Qui c'est qui avance? Non, mais remettons les choses dans le contexte. J'allais me coucher sur ces belles paroles. Mais non, voyons. Ah, mais après, voilà, le vieux, il a pas 100% tort. Les pires, tu sais. Ça va, calmez-vous. Calmez-vous, calmez-vous. Bon, qu'est-ce qu'il veut Non, mais est-ce qu'on joue vraiment le sexiste de base? Est-ce qu'on joue le mec sexiste? On pourrait, hein. On pourrait être le mec un petit peu taquin. Moi, j'aime bien être un peu taquin sur ce sujet. Je pense que c'est bien de taquiner les gens. Ouais, les grands esprits se rencontrent, René. Vous et moi. Je suis vraiment fatigué. On semble avoir tout compris,
The
hein.
RCM doesn't discriminate. Women are held to the same standards as men.
Bien
and,
sûr.
as reflected in the quarterly statistics, are equally effective in their
Mais on
jobs.
disait pas le contraire. C'est juste que bon, même si les statistiques disent qu'elles sont aussi efficaces, c'est peut-être parce qu'elles ont des tâches un peu secondaires. Peut-être pour ça aussi. Après les stats, vous savez, on peut. Moi, j'ai connu un grand homme qui disait les stats, on peut en faire un peu ce qu'on veut. On peut leur dire, on peut leur faire dire ce qu'on veut. Ça marche. Bonne nuit, Dahu. Des bisous. De toute façon, je vais pas tarder à arrêter aussi. Il est déjà 1h là. Et puis j'ai le cerveau qui est en train de cramer là. Avec Kuno et Kunos là, c'est bon quoi. Bon, tartiner le fiac les deux gamins. En tout cas, bonne nuit et merci beaucoup d'être passé. Incroyable. Repose-toi bien.
Unlike men, they also have to deal with the very same mentality you two are displaying right now. If it weren't for this, they would outperform us.
Oui.
I'm glad at least some people keep a level head in
j'ai
these
pas vu,
turbulent
c'était-
times.
Bien sûr, ils se suicident dans tout ce marasme. On dirait que vous jouez dans un cratère.
The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Ah bah oui, mais bon, dans un cratère, en même temps, le cochonnet, il se retrouve au milieu, tu balances tes boules, bon, bah, elles se collent, quoi. Peut-être pas si intéressant, non? Devenu Mr. Beauf à cause de jeu? Non, quand même. Quand même. Vous savez ce qui a créé
I
ça?
do. Fire from heavy artillery.
D'accord. C'est un cratère causé par un tir d'artillerie, mais
Why
pourquoi?
what?
Ah, pourquoi
Because
l'artillerie
that's
était
what
utilisée?
happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
J'ai pas compris, la guerre, ça date pas d'il y a 41 ans? Puisque là, c'est la nouvelle année des 41 ans. Et du coup, ça voudrait dire qu'ils ont fait des tirs d'artillerie il y a 41 ans, mais que personne n'a refait même le trou. Pareil gros, cette histoire, non? C'est qui déjà les communards?
Communists, socialists, anarchists.
Ah, les
call them
cocos.
what you like. They just chose a name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality.
Bah allez, c'est vrai que les cocos, c'est un peu des fascistes aussi. Hein. Le mec, il mélange tout, tu sais. Ah ouais, saloperie, quoi. Hein. Communistes, les socialistes, les anarchistes, là, tous les mêmes, hein. Tout ce qui finit en "iste" au final. Les capitalistes, les libéralistes, tous les mêmes. Hein. Vous avez déjà tiré à l'artillerie sur eux?
Sadly, no.
Ah,
It was the
il est pas
foreigners
content.
who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked.
Ah ouais.
Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't so.
Ah, attends, attendez, parce que j'ai lu, je lisais un peu en biais.
Bon, bah, révolte.
Bon, bah, révolte. Anarchiste, gaz de schiste, c'est tous les mêmes. Non, attendez, parce que j'ai lu de travers, et là, mon cerveau, il a fait tilt. On aurait dû combattre de façon moins honorable, comme ils l'ont fait avec leur propagande sexuelle sur le suicide et leur pétasse anarchiste ceinturée de bombes. On n'a pas combattu et on manquait de calibre. Dieu le bénisse, mais les canons du suzerain n'étaient pas assez gros. Ouais, non, mais au début, je me suis dit, tiens, j'ai dû avoir lu de travers et c'est pour ça que j'ai un peu rien compris. Et bizarrement, même en le lisant, voilà, avec tête reposée, bah, je comprends tout, là. Là, il y a vraiment du sens. Intéressant.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Ah, mais moi, je pense pas, hein. Je pense que c'était texto, là. Hein. Le mec, bac plus 7 en analyste géopolitique, t'inquiète de rien, hein. Le gars, il est solide sur les appuis, hein. Les propagandes sexuelles sur le suicide. Non, mais c'est un classique, ça. Hein. Classique manipulation d'État, comme on dit dans le milieu. Hein. Bon, bah, révolte. Hein. En fait, j'en ai un peu marre de lui parler à lui. Ouais, moi aussi, je bombarderais cet endroit. Ouais, bah, les cocos, ouais.
The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Mon Dieu, mais de quoi il parle?
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
Bah ouais, mais c'est con, parce que là, ils ont l'air d'avoir fait une coalition, donc du coup, les ennemis de tes ennemis, ça reste des ennemis, quoi. Enfin, ils ont pas d'ennemis, tes ennemis. Enfin, si, toi, du coup, donc c'est toi-même. Parce que tu peux être ami avec toi-même. Ça mérite sujet à philosopher, mais on va s'en battre un peu les couilles, hein. Donc, du coup, on va lui dire ferme ta gueule. Oui, ça a l'air super intéressant, mes potes. Oh non, mais franchement, gros, je vais pas parler avec des gens rebous là qui me racontent n'importe quoi et qui me brassent depuis tout à l'heure, quoi. Ouais, la Martinez, machin, aujourd'hui, socialiste syndicat, ouais. C'est socialiste du syndicat qui dirige quasiment cet endroit. Propre faute, faire remarquer là, la coalition officiellement le parti n'a jamais été indiqué. Ça marche, Mehdi, des bisous, bonne nuit à toi. Faites beaux rêves. Ouais. Ouais, je pense pas, j'agis là.
I'm so damn sorry it had to be the coalition. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol. Or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
En fait, je comprends pas bien parce que le mec il te brasse en me disant machin sur la montagne à bouffer des chats bouillis et tout, sauf que Ravenholm c'est la putain de capitale du monde. Enfin, Revachol là. C'est la capitale du monde et l'autre il te brasse en mode j'étais dans les montagnes. Bah du coup me parle pas là, de quoi tu parles? T'étais à 500 km d'ici. Le mec il a zéro connu la guerre du coup. Non, ou ça a pas de sens. J'en sais rien, je comprends pas bien là. Je pense qu'il brasse un peu.
All that is just, holy and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling down. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
On est...
The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
Mais il est con quoi, il dit que c'est en l'an 8 et on est en l'an 41. Genre... Ça fait 30 piges, mon perso il a bien plus de 30 piges. Putain, il me fout le brasse. Oh, je vais faire un jet de dés, je vais lose et je vais rage kit.
All you observe.
This is the uniform of the royal.
Ce que je me savais, c'est un vétéran s'accrochant quand passé de son
Guillaume
uniforme.
le Lion and the valiant King Philip V before him.
Super.
Don't you mean Freestyle the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
There's something you missed. You'll get to it. Don't worry. Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now. Magnesium-based life form. We tell them, hell no. You're about to become a magnesium-based life form. The age of the primitive carbon man is done. No longer must mankind rely on slow-working background radiation to take us further into our genetic destiny. This is the era of guided evolution, and magnesium is the key. You are the first of your species, the next step in human evolution. An advanced magnesium proto-man who mags it up, drinks it down, and sniffs it sideways.
Ah mais c'est mes trucs. Oublié. Ah oui, donc ça c'est pour rentrer. Ah d'accord, ok. Mais c'est quoi cette brasse? Mais ça a aucun sens. Non? Oh, mon Dieu. J'ai mal à la tête. Ah ouais, mais ça brasse, hein. Mais faut pas trop jouer à ce genre de jeu, tu vois. Tu vois, là, ça fait 2h30 qu'on en fait, même 2h40. Bah, c'est trop, tu vois. Là, c'est le moment où faut arrêter. C'est le moment où faut arrêter parce qu'on perd les pédales. Trop d'informations enregistrées. D'énormes boules dignes d'un homme, un vrai. Hugo, tremblement de terre. J'ai 3 barres. Non, ou alors c'est divisé, on sait pas pourquoi. Pourquoi j'ai 3 barres? C'est passé quoi dans ma vie de génie là? C'est grâce au truc de l'assimilation de mes couilles? Non. 3 sur 3. Volonté plus 2. La vitesse au 3. MC. Celui d'apprentissage passe à 5. Vitesse... Réflexion. Plus de volonté. C'est ça? Ça va donner des points en morale? Oh mon dieu, ça va être tellement agréable. Oh, ça y est, je vais plus me faire baiser à chaque faux jet de dés en mode tu es dans le fiac. Incroyable. Ah bah tu m'étonnes que c'est cool, ouais. Mais franchement, ils auraient dû le faire dès le début, ça allait pas te permettre d'avoir qu'un seul. Enfin, vraiment, c'est frustrant. Surtout que tu peux pas le changer après avoir commencé, donc... petite sauvegarde. Des bisous YouTube. C'était très bien. Non, en vrai, il est cool le jeu. Mais c'est vrai que ça va être chaud peut-être en live. Hein. On va voir. On va essayer d'en faire au maximum en live. Et on verra si on le finit. J'ai un peu peur. Les pouces bleus, bien entendu. J'ai un peu peur que le jeu, ça soit compliqué après.